Hello everyone, my name is Hassan Salim and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant and I do practice here in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. A lot has happened recently, especially the elections of Canada that have resulted in the Liberal government, which was kind of unexpected for a lot of people, but here we are. We have the Liberals making the minority government this election, and one of the most important topic that stays no matter who had won is the Canadian immigration. And we already know a lot what Liberals think of Canadian immigration and what the plans are, but if you are not aware of what the plans would be, watch this video till the very end so we can break it down, what we can expect from the Liberal government in 2025 and moving forward. And I'll tell you all about it in this video, so watch this video till the very end. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, subscribe to me first so you don't miss out on any of the videos that I post on this amazing immigration channel. So see you on the other side. As I said in the intro of this video, we will be talking about the future of Canadian immigration and where we see the Liberal government taking Canadian immigration forward. As you all know, it's tough to predict what the new policies would be, but at least we can get a general idea or the direction where they would be heading towards or what they have been saying during their campaign of this election. So there are a lot of things which we can discuss and talk about, but the three main things or the three main topics in this video we will be talking about today would be the PR admission, that is the level of admission of the permanent residents in Canada. And the second thing we will be talking about is the reduction in the temporary resident levels. So the people who are on work permit or Canadian study permit, those who have temporary status, we will be talking about that as well. And the third main thing is the increase of the Francophone level of immigration that the Liberals want to go towards. So we will be talking about these three topics in detail, and at the end we will talk about some other promises or the talk points that Liberals had during their campaign. So we will start off with the first thing. I know a lot of people would be interested to know more about it, what the plan is for permanent resident admission. The 2025 campaign acknowledges the fact that the Canadian immigration rose to an unsustainable level, which put a lot of pressure not just on the housing market, the social infrastructure, the job market, and overall inflation as well, due to which what they would have to do is they would have to stabilize the PR admissions in Canada. In easy words, what that means is basically they would be reducing the number of admissions or the number of people that can be allowed to come to Canada on PR status. Now, if you talk about their plans, the idea is to reduce the number of immigrants coming on PR status in Canada by less than 1% by the end of 2027. Now, the numbers for 2025, if you remember correctly, the last time when they published these numbers was 395,000 admissions and 380,000 admissions in 2026. And last but not the least, in 2027, they plan to have 365,000 people coming in Canada on PR status, which is already in line with the 1% that they talk about, because by the statistics, it looks like by the end of 2025, Canadian population would rise up to 41.5 million. So if you do the math, it is already less than 1%. So this is one of the main agendas or one of the main things they would want to focus on coming into 2025's election campaign, and also moving forward. If they come up with a new plan or a different kind of strategy, we will find out soon, but for now, that's what the direction looks like. That's where they are heading towards, is reducing the number on PR. And the target for 2025, that is this year, is 395,000 people who would be allowed to come in Canada on the status of PR, that is permanent. So the second thing I want to talk about today is the reduction in temporary resident levels as well. Now, if we look at the Canada's temporary resident population, by temporary residents I mean the people who are on study permit of any kind or work permit of any kind, the population is about 3.02 million out of the 41.5 million, as I mentioned before, and that takes the percentage of the these temporary resident levels to 7.25% of the total population in Canada right now. Now, what the plan is, or what they want to do, is they want to reduce this number from 7.25% to 5% by the end of 2027. How they want to do it, or how they expect it would happen, is for the people whose status expires, they leave Canada by themselves. Or one of the good things in this would be the transition of the people who are on the temporary status in Canada converting into PR. So a lot of focus on the people who are already in Canada rather than getting people from outside Canada. So the conversion rate helps the people who are already working here, studying here, know the environment, know how Canada works, know the education system and all that. So the focus would be there to convert those TRs into PRs. And also the people whose status expires and are not eligible for any program that lets them stay here in Canada or apply for permanent residence to leave themselves. So this is what they are expecting. Now, if you remember correctly, Mark Miller, the previous immigration minister in Justin Trudeau's cabinet, did put a lot of caps. For example, study permit caps we saw for the first time. There were a lot of eligibility changes to spouse open work permit or postgraduate work permit. So a lot of changes happened at that point of time as well. Now, once during the campaign, Mark Carney was asked about these levels or these caps which were put in place for these temporary resident levels. He answered with the fact that they would stay the way they are until we reach better solution to the crisis and the problems we have in Canada, and we bring this immigration level to a sustainable level. So the third focus of Liberals with this election campaign was they want to focus on the Francophone immigration. For the people who don't know what Francophone is, are the people who can speak in French as well. So the focus is not just have Francophone people in Quebec, but even have these communities grow in the areas where French is not spoken much. So Francophone immigration is one of the main things they want to focus on other areas other than Quebec, increasing it further from the immigration level plans they have announced initially. The idea is to set the numbers to 8.5% of Francophone immigration. By 2026, they want to change it to 9.5%. 2027 was 10%, but now they're talking about 2029 and increasing those levels up to 12%, which would be a big number to have the Francophone community, not just in Quebec, but outside as well, which is great for a lot of people who can speak French, and they can contribute in the bilingualism that we have here in Canada. As you all know, there are two main languages in Canada. Those are English and French. A lot of people think this French language is limited to Quebec, but that's the whole idea. They want to expand it. They want to make sure that not people are just coming to Quebec can speak French, but they have access to anywhere in Canada, and these communities grow, and we can focus on more French-speaking people. So these were three main things that Liberals plan to focus on, but a few other promises or few other statements that Liberals had passed during their campaign are right here on the screen. I'll read it out for you. Using digital services tools to reduce processing times and elimination backlog. So that would be huge. A lot of backlog is still available. Obviously, it's way less than what it used to be a year or 2 years back, but it's still a big backlog. A lot of people are still waiting on the decision of their application. So they want to use the digital service tools, help of AI, for example, to reduce this number and get the answers to all these applications as early as they can. Secondly, they want to work on providing legal aid for asylum seekers and refugees so they can get timely advice and their cases can be resolved quickly. As you know, it's a long process. It takes time to get the answers or get the final verdict on if your asylum or refugee case was accepted, denied, refused, all that kind of stuff. They want to make it better. They want to provide legal aid so the results come in quickly compared to what they are right now. and also removing failed claimants once the process has been accorded. How different it would be, no one knows, but they want to make sure that if the decision is against you, like for example, you are refused to have this asylum or refugee status, you need to be out of here as soon as possible. So they want to work on that processing as well. Another thing is the tightening of the border security. We all know US has been talking a lot about it, and that's one of the things that Canada or Mark Carney has a big focus on, is that increasing resources for border security, tightening visa requirements, and improving the enforcement against immigration fraud, which is a very normal thing that has been happening for years. So that is something that needs to come to stop, and that's one of the promises again from the Liberal Party. But whatever happens, hopefully things get right in Canadian immigration. It becomes easier for people to apply and to immigrate to this amazing country and start their journey of living in this wonderful country, as I said. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, follow me on my YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. I've been sharing my links throughout this video. I'll try to make more videos as I can and share with you all the latest information related to Canadian immigration and make it easy for you to understand. And feel free to contact me if you have any immigration queries. For a paid consultation, I'll be more than happy to assist. So take care, have a great day, and I'll meet you in the next video.